Welcome to the SIAC Sitdown. I am Sly the Sports Guy, and I am joined by the one and only Jamie Walker.
How you doing?
Jamie, I like that. We got a name for the show, Jamie.
Listen, man, the SIAC Sitdown, I love that. Love that.
The people like it, too.
Yes, they do.
The people like it.
They do, man. They've been responding to it. They say, hey, that's a good one. So I like it.
Week number 8, we come up with a name to the show.
I know, man. And Sly, we getting down to the nitty-gritty, man.
The nitty-gritty, man.
We're down to the last 3 weeks of the regular season,
Last 3 weeks of the regular season. Now we need some theme music.
We do need some theme music.
We need a theme music intro that go, a sporty intro. So all those people out there who graphic design, all that type of stuff, Jamie, I don't know the name. Whatever you call those type of people.
You can, man. I've seen people make entire records now with AI, so maybe we need to go to the artificial.
We might need to
hook up a beat or two. We'll see.
Well, anybody who can create an intro for us, you know the name of the show, the SIAC Sit Down. Get us some theme music or something like that. Put it together for us, and we'll let it go.
We will.
All right. Well, we might as well talk about what we're here for.
Yes, sir.
We're here
want to hear.
We're here for SIAC football.
We are.
Another great week.
Most definitely, man.
Another great week.
Listen, it's becoming the separation of the contenders from the pretenders, and we gonna touch on a few pretenders, unfortunately.
Oh man, can you get the shot back to Jamie?
We're gonna talk about the pretenders.
Yeah, wow, look at right beside him. That's messed up, camera man. That is so messed up. Back to the wide shot. Back to the wide shot. Hey, let's start it off. With the first game of the week, played on a Friday night. We had some Friday night football in Puerto Rico. No. They didn't go.
No, Puerto Rico.
No. They didn't go to Puerto Rico?
They didn't go to Puerto Rico.
They went to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, man.
New Hampshire. Well, it was a good game.
It was.
Kentucky State Thoroughbreds took on Franklin Pierce University. I have no idea anything about Frank. I know nothing about Franklin Pierce.
They are in the Northeast 10 Conference.
Okay, there you go.
Saw that. They are, I think, in 3rd or 4th place within their conference. So,
okay.
Decent team.
Okay.
Good Northeast football.
Gotcha.
So yeah. It was a good opponent to be able to step away out of conference and go play somebody that you're not familiar with. So I like what they did.
Well, they went up there. Let's check out that game a little bit. Kentucky State played Franklin Pierce, and Kentucky State came away with a narrow 17-14 win. They kicked a 37-yard field goal. I think it was 37-yard field goal to win the game. Something special, man. Throw out some of them highlights of this game right here, man. Big time. They started off with my man Elsie with a rushing touchdown right there. Hey, I like that kid, Elsie.
I like that kid a lot, man. Squatty but powerful, man. You're talking about 5'10", 200 pounds. But I tell you what, he looks more than just that. He's powerful with his legs. He's one of those running backs that continues to churn his legs. But this is a back and forth affair, man.
Look at that. Interception by Navy Curry. We're going to talk about Navy a little bit later on. But that big-time play by Navy Curry. Navy Curry stepping up big for Kentucky State. And then we get down to it. That was a interception like with 9 minutes. But this was the one. Franklin Pierce driving down the field, I think under 2 minutes to go, a big 4th down stop by Kentucky State. A huge 4th down stop by Kentucky State. Changed over possession. Kentucky State took it. Time to drive down the field and get themselves in position. They stepped up big, and here we go right here. Game-winning field goal. Look at this young man. Line it up. And here's the thing, Jamie. When he kicked this thing, Jamie, I think he had about another 10 yards to go. That hit the net.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I mean, they were up for this, but it just goes to show you what Kentucky State, Coach Felton Huggins, and everyone on that staff, their belief in this football team. He said it was just a matter of time they get this thing turned around. And being able to step out of conference, an opponent you're not familiar with, hey, that's regardless of who you think it is or whatever, that's big time, especially when you change the logistics in where you're going.
Yep.
You're thinking you're going to Puerto Rico, you're going to New Hampshire, you take this long bus ride up there. You're already disappointed somewhat. Not that, New Hampshire.
Oh, they disappointed. I don't care. Puerto Rico, New Hampshire. Come on now.
Hey, so it's one of those things where you had to turn it back on a Friday night, short week as it is. You go up there and get the W.
Go up and get the W, man. And then big-time play out of Navy Curry. Navy Curry had a big-time game, too. Pull up some of the stats from Navy Curry. I know he had that interception. He had 4 tackles for a loss. Navy Curry was a quarterback. He came into Kentucky State as a quarterback, am I right?
He did. Won some games as a quarterback. He did.
And now Navy Curry says, hey, let me play defense. They moved him over to defense last year. And, sometimes you have to congratulate that young man for accepting the fact that he wasn't a quarterback.
Right.
You got a lot of kids who think, hey, I'm a quarterback. I'm going to play quarterback.
Especially in this transfer portal era. When you're talking about somebody that says, okay, we better see you. You're better suited to play another position for us. He didn't pack his bags and go. He accepted the challenge, and it's paying off big time so far.
And if you look at what he's done for the season, young man, he's actually leading the conference in interceptions. He's tied for third in the nation. 4 interceptions on the year. Navy Curry is, man. Great job by this young man. Way to step up.
Very much so, man. I think when you're talking about someone that could play the position, the quarterback position is glorified or whatever, but to make that switch and be able to excel at it, and we've seen him in a couple of games. He's taking this thing and running with it, man, and he's excited to play it.
He took 100-yard interception back to the house, man. 100 yards back to the house. Big-time play by that young man. Now, let's move on to the next one. It's homecoming season.
Yes, it is.
Homecoming season down in Albany or Albany, however you want to say it.
One of them, depending where you're from.
This is true. They took on Tuskegee in a tough game. Score. Wait a minute, that's reverse. We're gonna have to correct that in the post edit.
Yes,
we'll correct that in the post edit. You can put it back up. But the score 7-3 Albany. 73 Albany State takes out Tuskegee. 7-3 Albany State takes out Tuskegee. Wasn't a lot of offense, whole lot of defense in this one.
But do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm on my third string quarterback.
Oh.
My third stringer. Albany State. So when you're talking about the first two, of course, held Isaiah Knowles out another week. Went to the backup. He had been playing well, leading his offense. He goes down. So you go to your third stringer. And now you're trying to muster up offense. And you get an early score on a special teams play. And now you are at the position to where you're trying to hold off a squad that desperately needs a win, who played well defensively themselves, but just could not muster enough offense to get over the hump. And this would have been the ideal day to get Albany State, but that just goes to show you this squad, I'm telling you, Sly, they are loaded offensively and defensively, have not gotten maybe the fanfare that a Benedict has gotten for really excelling and ascending. But now Albany State is going to show some people, and we're really going to show some people this weekend.
This weekend is going to be a game. But anyway, let's stick to this one. Go and look at a few stats. I got to learn to say this kid's name, man.
Who?
Tion
Weiss.
I got to say it right. Well, you should have got over 100 yards. He had 94 yards today.
But when you got a full backfield the way they have.
Oh, yeah, they got to share the ball.
Yeah, share the ball.
They got to share the rock. He had 94 yards and a touchdown. Algernon Thomas, he had 73 yards, didn't have a touchdown. And Zaylin Bell, the quarterback, he actually ran for 41 yards. So, a lot of rushing down there, a lot of people running the rock down there in Albany State. But Tuskegee just can't get right. The score was 7-3. They actually missed a field goal. They missed a field goal that, early in the game that would have made it 7-3 early. And so they end up getting the field goal late. But the youngster, Bryson McGrew, the game he had against Morehouse, his kind of introduction to college, was a pretty good game. He didn't throw for much, but he ran for a lot of yards and kind of expected a lot out of him. But then again, it was Morehouse,
You got to quit talking about Morehouse.
I got to stop.
We're going to get back to it later.
We're going to get back to that.
We're going to talk about him.
But this one was a tough game. He was 8 for 36 with 73 yards.
It's a tough day, man.
You don't win too many games going 8 for 36.
You do not. You do not. That's a quarter of your throws being completed. So, yeah.
Tough game for the youngster, but he's young. He's learning.
Very much so.
Throw him into the fire.
And that's been kind of the theme with a lot of teams now.
A lot of teams.
Due to injury, being forced to go to, folks that you didn't necessarily think would play so early. But some teams have gotten real young real quick. So, hey, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't. Well, let's move on along. The next one was Central State taking on Kentucky Christian, NAIA school, Kentucky Christian. And I guess the Christians prayed harder.
Listen, Sly sent me a text as you see the score. Yeah, Sly sent me a text. It was real ugly early.
Yeah, real ugly early.
I got to give, I am the diplomatic, positive one on the show. And so, way to go, Central State, for fighting hard and coming back in it.
What?
Fighting their way back into the ball game.
Come on, man.
That shows the resolve of the coaching staff and all the things. But, yes, you lost the game 35-27.
And do you count the points when they scored against the third string, man? You count those points, man. The score, at one point in time, it was 28-0 in the second period. 28-0 in the second period. Central State did kind of battle back at the half. They made it 28-14 at the half. They did make it 28-14, so it was reasonable. But then Kentucky Christian came right back in the third quarter, scored. Now it's 35-14, and then you get some window dressing.
Yes.
Toward the end, So I'm not quite sure why we even really wasting time on this. And I said last week. I said, well, why didn't Central State make this game homecoming? Because I'm thinking in my head, you're playing the NAIA school, so you want to make that homecoming. I guess it's a good thing they didn't make that one homecoming.
Yes, this is true.
I guess it's a good thing. Yeah. But, when we are looking for positives, we do want to pick out some positives. Central State, Keanu Campbell-Caldwell, he did throw for 300 yards, 14 for 27, 304, 2 touchdowns and interceptions. So
you're looking for some positives. I agree. And again, when you're talking about the couple of games, which was surprising early on in the year, the amount of points they scored against Kentucky State, that was way early in the year. But it had been hard, really, for them to muster up offense consistently. So if you're looking at some of those, that can be a positive going into maybe the offseason into next year. So I think that was one of the focal points that really Coach Carter and just others have to go into when it comes to getting this team completely balanced and being able to compete in the SIAC.
Well, I hope they go ahead and figure out something, because that's ugly right there.
Very much.
That is ugly, losing like that to a NAIA school. But back to the drawing board. They are young, so hopefully. And here's the thing. Like you said earlier, young is kind of a theme.
It is.
It's a theme of the conference this year. And a lot of times you're going to find out if you can keep those guys together. If you can keep them together. They've learned through the school of hard knocks now. You keep them together, next year it'll be a little bit different. But
and I think that's collegiate football in general now.
Mm-hmm.
Some programs have figured out how to, in this transfer portal, NIL, whatever you want to call it, era, if in some people's thought process, how to continue winning. Some schools have figured out what to do to keep your players together, Some people have figured out how to continue with program building despite your players being plucked, because make no mistakes about it. As we are in a media where you can find a game anywhere, you can see all players, there are coaches right now looking to see who can help our program on another level. So coaches and programs that are able to figure those kinds of things out actually program build and continue success. And then there's still programs that are trying to figure that out, man. So it's just one of those things.
Well, since we're talking about one of those things, talking about ugly wins.
Uh-oh.
Let's go and talk about Savannah State playing Fort Valley State in the Good Trouble Classic in Augusta, Georgia. Played at the historic Lucy C. Lane High School. I don't know if you've been down to Lucy Lane down in Augusta, but I like that stadium. It's a nice event, nice place to call the game. I enjoy down there at Lucy C. Lane. But this game scored 7-0. I watched this one too. It was a hard watch, but they won. Somebody won.
We are clearly sleeping on Fort Valley's defense.
Their defense is good
because Savannah State has pieces on offense.
Oh.
They can't put it together all the time, but they're just so inconsistent being able to score touchdowns, even field goals for that matter, that I was just shocked looking at this game. It's just like, okay, what happened? What occurred? But give kudos again to Fort Valley being able to, despite all the things that have gone on with them, good, bad, and ugly, they still managed to put their best foot forward every game.
Jamie.
What?
Jamie, I pulled up the stats, Jamie.
Go ahead.
I saw the stats. 93 yards.
Mm-hmm.
93 yards. What do you think 93 yards was?
On a return.
Of total offense. 93
so
yards.
not one play.
Of total offense for Savannah State and 175 yards of total offense for Fort Valley. If you're Fort Valley and you get 175 yards of total offense, the only team you can beat is Savannah State or Lane.
There you go again.
Or Lane.
There you go again. Lane, your new Morehouse?
They might be the new Morehouse. Lane might be the new Morehouse or Central State. Come on, man. You can't have a program and get 93 yards of offense and expect to win. I don't know what's the problem. Once again, 4 quarterbacks. I don't know if 4 people play quarterback, but they have 4 people who threw passes. And 29 yards, 20 yards, 18 yards, and 0 yards. 3 interceptions out of the 4.
That's brutal, man.
That is bad.
That is brutal.
And here's the thing. You have a weapon like Gilbert. I saw the big boy. I saw him throw to the big boy. Mm-hmm. And he's just pushing people off of him.
Yes.
You know, I don't know much about offense. I truth be told, I was a coach. I'm sitting on the couch now. Mm-hmm. So that I can tell you about my coaching career. All right? But I'm trying to get this big boy the ball however I can get him the ball. I'm trying to get him the ball however I can get him the ball. Hell, everybody play quarterback. Line up at quarterback too.
Hey, listen. Hey, single wing.
It might as well.
Single wing. We can go wildcat. We can however you want it. But you get Eric Gilbert the ball. And quiet as kept, they have been getting him. Like he's amongst the leaders in receptions in the SIAC. So they've been trying to get him the ball, but creative ways of or however you have to do it. Maybe he needs to be more of a focal point on offense, but they're just so herky-jerky when it comes to scoring points, man, that it's one of those things that you just cannot figure out what this team is. But Sly, we've been talking about this for quite a while. This is not the only year that we're talking about the inconsistencies of Savannah State. So I'm curious to see what direction they go going forward.
Oh man, whatever.
We're gonna talk about that
I hope they go with some offense. However, whatever they do, I hope they find some offense. Speaking of finding offense, this may be the first time ever we will get to say Morehouse College took somebody behind the woodshed They took him behind the woodshed.
They did sly.
And gave him a butt cutting. Morehouse defeated Lane on Spellhouse 31-7.
The first homecoming victory since 2019.
Get out of here. It's
Yes,
been that long?
I read that. Listen, AD Drew, one of the best in the business.
One of the best in the business.
Best in the business. If you want to know a stat of some sort,
He got it.
listen.
AD got
if
it.
he don't got it, he'll go get it.
He will go and get it for you.
My guy AD. But yes, man, since 29. That is wild.
I had no idea, man.
That
it's been
is
that
wild,
long.
man, because, again, we started asking the question a couple weeks ago. Can they get 3 in a row?
Bruh.
4 in a row?
Bruh.
5 in a row?
Bruh. Watch out for them Maroon Tigers.
If you look at the schedule and look at others, we're going to go through everybody else's.
I'm sipping the Kool-Aid.
Uh-oh. They don't sip Kool-Aid.
I'm sipping the
Morehouse.
Kool-Aid.
They don't drink Kool-Aid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Morehouse.
I'm at Morehouse. I'm sorry, Morehouse. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. I'm at Morehouse. You have to be sophisticated. You have to be sophisticated when you sip the Kool-Aid. I'm sorry, sip the fruit punch.
Yes.
They don't have red.
No.
It's no red. It's cherry or fruit punch. But hey, Morehouse, as many jokes as I make, because everybody knows I'm a Morehouse basketball guy. I like Morehouse basketball. Morehouse basketball is where I'm at. But I've been a little hard on Morehouse football.
A little?
Deservingly so.
I agree.
Deservingly.
I agree.
They have been bad.
I agree.
They have been bad.
They have.
But this football team, come on now. Come on, somebody.
I don't know what's going on. It was one of those things where talked about how Morehouse was going to be. You wasn't sure. And I'm talked 2 years ago. You know, you bring in, head coach Terrence Mathis. Mm-hmm. He comes in, coming out of high school ranks primarily. Mm-hmm. Morehouse is a different type of environment when it comes to who you bring in as a football player. You're going to get them academics. Mm-hmm. So you can't just run out and just go get anybody to come play for you. Having to figure out what you needed to do and things of that nature. Coach Mathis, you got to give him kudos. He brought in some different people coming in this year as far as the coaching staff is concerned, a lot of experience. Kevin Porter being one of those folks that has been around the conference, has come in along with a couple other folks, and they have been able to galvanize this team from a culture standpoint. And I think you're seeing the evidence of what that buy-in is when it comes to, and we talked about it at Media Day, what that buy-in is when it came to players and coaches and them being able to say, okay, this is what we need to do to win, and it's been working out. It's been working out. Got to give them their credit.
You got to give them the credit. You have to give Morehouse the credit. Big-time performances. And once again, another 300-yard passing game from Miles Scott.
Miles Scott been tearing it up since his freshman year.
Miles Scott, go ahead, bring it up, man. Show what Miles Scott has been doing, man. Miles Scott, if we look at his stats from this game, Miles Scott was 21 for 32, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. No interception. Got that off his Instagram page right there.
Outstanding. Look at that, man.
I like that picture.
Look, man, IG is everything, man. You can get whatever information you need from a person. They love showing off.
They love showing off, man. But I'm gonna let them show off.
Yes.
Go ahead and show off Miles Scott, man. 21 for 32, 313 yards, 3 TDs, no interceptions. That's his third 300-yard passing game. Somebody watch out.
Man, look, Miles Scott had showed glimpses when they put him on the field. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those things where they're young, and you've always talked about their offensive line woes. It's no bones about him.
He found the right 5 guys at the library. He was walking down and he found the right 5 guys at the library. He found them, and apparently they gave up 1 sack.
Listen,
1 sack.
Since you have used that graphic. They have found.
Since our producer Miles, not me.
Yes,
Miles the producer put that up there.
Yeah,
that wasn't me. That was Miles the producer.
Yes.
They have found, and you hear him screaming in the background. He's screaming in the background.
But yes, since whenever and you talked about it, I don't know if they heard and listened to our show, got offended.
They listen. They listen. Oh God, they listen.
Got offended or whatever. But they have been able to put together a quality enough offensive line to protect Miles Scott to be able to do the things that he's doing. His talent has always been there, but it's just a matter of everything coming together, receivers being there for him. You know, you got the likes of Wolf in the backfield, being able to run the football effectively. They are a really balanced offense despite being a run and shoot attack. So definitely, man, it's been a pleasant surprise to see Morehouse really progress. And even when they're down, you think, because when you've been, and for lack of a better term, a perennial loser.
Yes.
And you get down a couple of touchdowns. The Tuskegee game was a perfect example of that. You get down a few scores, okay, they're about to, go ahead and bury him, call it a day. But give the coaching staff and players credit, their belief system and their belief in their ability to be able to come back. Man, it is a thing of beauty, man, and I'm seeing, and hey, let's see how far they can go, Sly.
Boy, look out for the Maroon Tigers, the Fighting Maroon Tigers, and the way you guys are playing. I think from now on, well, at least this season, you may be favored if you play Spelman. You may be favored. I'm not going to give you guys 3 if y'all play Spelman anymore. So good job by the Maroon Tigers. Big time things in the AUC. Well, if we talk about big time things, we talk about a team trending up. Uh-oh. Oh, God, this hurts. This hurts. Oh, God. Oh, God.
The new host of the Clock.
Oh, God.
Listen, man. Listen.
Talk about a team trending down.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Let's go ahead and Clark Atlanta took a trip down to Miles. And, hey, Miles grew up. It was homecoming in Miles. You were there. Hey, how was that crowd at Miles?
First and foremost, that crowd. I got to talk about this for a second. I'm gonna try to keep it short. But about an hour and a half before, been in my share of homecomings everywhere. It's been a thing. About an hour and a half before I had a conversation with head coach Teddy Keaton. We were just sitting up, chopping it up. Like, wow, because he coached at Miles before. We looked at him like, wow, it's kind of light. What's going on? The weather was good. It wasn't hot. Ain't none of that. And I'm like, okay, well, hey, we'll see what's going on. About 40 minutes before kickoff, everyone came at the same time. Everyone. It was beautiful, man. It was crowded. Clark Atlanta, their faithful, showed up and showed out. The bands were there. It is an underrated homecoming. It is an underrated homecoming. We talk about the big ones. Yeah, that's great. But it was a beautiful sight, man. And it looked good all the way around. If you saw it, I've looked at the replay of it. Even though I was, me and Tanisha Batiste were calling the game, it was a beautiful sight to see just all the way around, man. But the game itself, we're talking about trending down. It's tough for Clark Atlanta right now. Although they started out well and played well throughout the game, it's just a matter of, and we kept saying it in the broadcast, Miles is growing up before our very eyes, man. Five true freshman offensive linemen has had to grow up this entire season. Young in places. You started off with your quarterback, Cameron Ivory, who's gotten hurt. Bring in Brinley Van Diver, who has played well. He's got progressively better. But you got to give the coaching staffs really on both sides, and I'm talking about both teams, a lot of credit. Both quarterbacks are young. One young and experienced, the other one just young at Clark Atlanta in Xavier Jackson. And I think when you're talking about the game plans that they put in, they did not want, because both of them have been turnover prone or taking the untimely sack. In this game, the offensive coordinators for both squads, Marvin Cunningham for Clark Atlanta and Coach Ray for Kenny Ray for Miles College, they condensed the game down, shrunk the playbook down, and put their quarterbacks in a really good position to win the game. it was unfortunate that Clark Atlanta didn't win the game. Very fortunate for Miles to win the game. And I think they're getting to that place to where they like success and they want to stay there. So it was a great job. Edward Osley as well, running the football for them, did a really good job. But you got to give kudos to the game plan that Miles came in with.
Yep, Osley had 2 touchdowns, and you talk about putting the quarterbacks in good situations. You look at the stats. Xavier Jackson, he was 27 of 39 for 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But here's what hurt Clark. Here's what killed Clark. Clark running backs fumbled the ball.
Yes, they did.
The running backs coughed up the ball.
Yes, they did, man.
And one of the funny plays you call when the Clark Atlanta running back coughed up the ball and big number 92. Big number 92 from Miles got it. It was taking off down the field. He started to feel himself a little bit. Somebody came and stripped it away.
Yes, they did. I think it was David Martin.
Martin came stripped
getting behind him and stripped it, man. But
they got it back though.
They
got it back. I always like it when the big man rumble. I always like it when the big man rumble.
Definitely. But it was a good game all the way around because it went back and forth. And you could see everyone kind of the chess pieces in the game. I love that kind of complimentary football all around, man. But give kudos to the head coach, Chris Gould, man. He has gotten his young squad together. He's always said, just be patient, give us some time. And when you hear everybody wanting to fire everybody, it's good to hear that the powers that be are patient with this process. And right now, you could see them getting better.
That Miles Tuskegee game at the end of the year
just became interesting.
And you talked about the crowd. I'm pretty sure we won't be breaking the news by the time this comes out. It'll already be out. But that game, and you talk about the crowd that Miles had. When Miles plays Tuskegee, end of the year was supposed to be at Miles. It is no longer going to be at Miles. They are moving that game to Legion Field. So it isn't breaking news by the time this show comes out.
Right.
But that's huge.
Yes, it is.
That's huge. I got to call a game at Legion Field early this year. And, Legion Field sits 70,000. Do I think Tuskegee Miles is going to get 70,000? No. But I do believe that game, you go and look at the stats, they say attendance for this game was 11,500. All right. I honestly believe that game may get 17,000 in there. I think they can get at least 15,000 in there because, well, maybe if Tuskegee was being Tuskegee, it was, Tuskegee is Tuskegee is,
it's rough right now, man.
It's rough. The fighting Tom Jonas are having some problems down there.
Look, man, we talked about the fighting Lionel Richies, man, and right now it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. And I know those coaches work hard, man, but right now it's just not translating. It's just not trending. And we could talk a whole lot more about that, man, because what they've been in the past as far as having a bunch of talent, being able to put it together and then switching up the talent and things of that nature. Now it's sticking to one group and it's just not working out, man. I don't know if our expectations are too fast because you had some coaching changes that went along, but I don't know.
But the Tuskegee faithful does travel though, so that's a big time game for Tuskegee. And Miles did beat them, doing pretty bad last year, and they had I called that game last year, and Miles had the homecoming court on the sideline pulling the belt out. The homecoming court was he's some dudes who can't even sniff a football field, and they over here pulling the belt. Oh man, that was rough. That was rough to watch.
Yes, it was.
So I'm pretty sure Tuskegee looking for some get back. I know, but that's 2 weeks from now.
It is.
That's 2 weeks. We'll worry about that when it comes time to worry about that Tuskegee Miles. But the nightcap. The game we were kind of waiting on. We wanted to see what happened. Benedict traveled to Edward Waters. I couldn't make it to the game. You was calling the game. You couldn't make it. So we had to watch the stream. the people at the game, I'm pretty sure you guys enjoyed the game. It was a great game. People having to watch that stream. That stream came up a little short. It came up a little short on the visual. And I don't like to talk bad about people, so I'm just gonna say do better. Do better on the stream. If you want some information on how to do better, please get in contact with me. Please get in contact. Do better. Please do better on the stream. I'm sorry. God. But never mind. Anyway, it was a good game. It was a good game. Nevertheless, Benedict went down to Duval and came out with the victory. 31-27. 31-27. Benedict pulls it off with a game-winning touchdown on the last drive of the game. And we can talk about this last drive of the game. I want to make sure I get the young man's name right. I think it's Tristan Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan Morgan was the young man. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up the drive chart. I'm going to pull up the drive chart on that last game the last drive in the fourth quarter. I'm going to break down the last Benedict drive. The last Benedict drive, Benedict started at the 47-yard line, had a 21-yard kickoff return, started at their 47. Tristan Morgan, 9-yard run to the right. Tristan Morgan, 7-yard run to the left. Tristan Morgan, 7-yard run up the middle. Tristan Morgan, 1-yard run up the middle. Tristan Morgan, 0-yard run up the middle. Tristan Morgan, 11-yard run to the left. Tristan Morgan, 2-yard run up the middle. Incomplete pass.
See,
and then
you went away from Tristan.
Once you went away from Tristan Morgan. Then on 3rd and 8, Darius Ocean completed a short pass to
Tristan Morgan. Get that man the ball.
Touchdown. Edward Waters will go down to Benedict. 31-27.
Listen, both of us, you called it, and you said it was correct as we looking at some of the highlights with the stream. But
this is why we need a new producer. See, a good producer, as he heard me calling the game, as I was calling the touchdown, a good producer would have been there and ready running the clip. But I'm not gonna say it. But look at this. And then I like how Ocean moves outside of the pocket to find his back. Look how to move to find his man and drops it off in the end zone.
He did, but I don't think people understand just how difficult it is being a left-handed quarterback.
Yeah, he's left-handed. He's left-handed. He's going to his right and throws it to his left, man. That is a tough pass from Darius Ocean.
Yes.
I keep wanting to call this guy Danny Ocean. Darius Ocean, that is a tough pass from Darius Ocean, man, to get that for a touchdown, man. Big play.
Yes, very much so. And you know, for what it's worth, there's been some criticism of Mr. Ocean.
Yes.
You've been critical of him.
I have.
And so, you know, for him to make this play, I think this is why you bring him in for that kind of leadership at the end, because Glover Stadium is not an easy place to play.
It is not
at all. I think again, you were right as far as Benedict getting the win. I think you predicted it correctly, but I knew it would be closer than what it would, initially. And I'm shocked that Benedict found some offense to be able to do this, because I knew Edward Waters would score. They score in Duval.
Mm-hmm. They do.
They score in Duval. So, hey, kudos to them. Those are the kind of victories that bring together your championship muscle, and there it is.
But here's the thing about Benedict. Benedict, 2 interceptions on defense.
There it is.
A blocked field goal for a touchdown. Benedict, I want to say every game they've scored some special teams or defense.
Yes.
Every game they've scored special teams or defense. That is scary, man.
It is scary, because if your offense ever wakes up.
Oh, God, my goodness.
Yeah, because I'm trying to put this very diplomatically.
I can say it for you.
You have
Okay. Right,
you
go.
good? No.
Okay.
Because where I'm going is this, and I know it hadn't happened yet, but let's just say, speaking futuristically, we've had two teams that advanced in the playoffs last year. So the capabilities of, and I'm talking about two HBCU teams, Virginia Union and Miles, got playoff victories last year. Benedict, if they have any kind of remnants of a quality offense, can go far in the playoffs.
Oh, yes.
Because they have a championship defense. Mm-hmm. They have a championship defense. I know they gotta finish, and I fully expect them to be in the playoffs. So those of y'all that's in charge of getting those regionals out and all the things, they should definitely be up there. They should be up there anyway, because they are within this region. They are one of the top 6.
Oh yes, without a doubt.
With much certainty.
But as we talk about the greatness of Benedict, I'm gonna tell you I was a little bit shocked. Benedict's defense also. Jontarius Thomas, running back from Edward Waters, had a career day. Jontarius Thomas rushed for 226 yards, 1 touchdown off of 21 carries. Big time performance from Jontarius. I was shocked. I was shocked. What's that? Slice it up, JT.
Yeah.
I like the little Instagram.
Listen, man, they pick their names, and it's a beautiful thing.
But he did slice up the Benedict defense.
He did.
The young man did. Averaged 10 yards a carry, almost 11 yards a clip.
Okay, I need you to look up something real fast.
Go ahead.
How many attempts did Noah Biden have?
Passing or rushing?
Passing.
Passing, Noah Biden was 9 for 37 for 157 yards with 2 interceptions.
And you're telling me that Jontarius only had 21 carries? Because I'm sorry, if it is 10 yards a clip,
yeah, he
might have needed 25, might even been 30.
But he got a lot though off of the he had a
couple of runs.
Yeah, he had a big 50-something yard run too.
He had that a couple when I saw him play first game. He and I remember the game actually. Simone and Marv called as well. Had a big run and then fumbled right there near the goal line. So he is definitely capable of breaking the big run off. So not surprised at all.
Big time game from that young man. But all for naught. He did not complete the task. Now, what we want to do before we go into our rankings, we want to pull up. We'll put this in the post edit. This in the post edit on the screen right here. We'll put up the SIAC football standings. And right now in the conference, Benedict leads. They're 6-0. Albany State is 5-0. Kentucky State 5-1. Edward Waters 2-3. Morehouse 3-2. Technically, Morehouse is tied for 4th in the conference.
I was looking over schedules today.
I ain't stuttering when I said it.
Listen, nothing. Keep
Okay,
going.
my bad.
Keep going.
Savannah State 2-3, Allen 2-3, Fort Valley State 2-3, Miles 2-3. They got Central at 2-4. I don't think Central's 2-4. That may be a typo. Clark Atlanta 1-4, Tuskegee 1-4, and Lane 0-5. 0-5 for Lane. Okay. It is what it is.
It's tough, man. Tough sledding right now.
Well, let's throw up some rankings. Your rankings, your unofficial poll. What's your unofficial poll for Jamie?
Well, there it is, man. You see mine. I mean, essentially Lane, Central State, Tuskegee, Clark, Savannah State, Fort Valley. Then we get in kind of the weeds. Miles jumping up there, man. Listen, after a couple of victories, got to get him their kudos. Allen right there. Morehouse. Give them their props. They are amongst the upper half at this point. Edward Waters drops a game. Still in that 4th spot for me. Kentucky State, Benedict, and then Albany State for me, because I think at the end of the day, I think they'll be the most complete team when they're at full strength.
Okay, I got you. Oh, and I do want to apologize. Central State did win, too. I don't know how I forgot. They beat Fort Valley and they beat Lane.
That's right.
I don't know how. I apologize, Central State. You don't win many, so I should acknowledge you when you do win, and I apologize. Apologize, Central State. All right, throw up my rankings.
Let's see how different. Let me see. All right, so you had to bring in 13. I see you had to bring in the late 13.
Yeah, I had to add, because I usually don't add Lane, but I figured we need to go ahead and just add them in there. Albany State #1, Benedict #2. Albany State started off #1. They hadn't did anything in my eyes to lose it.
Oh, okay. I thought you had Benedict 1. Okay.
Nah, I might have by accident at one point in time, but Albany State, they hadn't did anything to lose it. And once I realized they played that game with their third-string quarterback, and that defense to still shut Tuskegee out like that,
That's the key for me too.
Yeah.
Being able to do it with adversity going on, man.
Mm-hmm. And then I have Benedict at 2 because their offense. If Benedict had an offense, I would rank them over Albany State. I would. But Benedict their offense is
too inconsistent to say, okay, these are the definites or you're the definite #1. I think the only remnants of offense that was consistent was against Tuskegee in that Thursday night game. Otherwise, they've relied on their defense to transition into offense and score, and quite frankly, score points.
Mm-hmm.
You just talked about what's going on in the Clark Atlanta game. Same thing. I think defense and special teams scored 28 points. So yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. Hey, and then Edward Waters. I have Kentucky State at 3, Edward Waters at 4, Morehouse at 5. Never in my time of calling games
Morehouse College
have I had Morehouse.
College. Show them your team.
I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Got to put your pinky up when you sip it.
It's actually strawberry or cherry. It's not
strawberry.
Red.
It ain't red.
It ain't red.
It ain't red.
No, it's not.
It ain't red. Okay. Morehouse at 5, Allen at 6, Fort Valley at 7, Miles at 8, Savannah State 9, Clark Atlanta 10, Tuskegee 11, Central State 12, and Lane 13. Now let me ask you a question. If I would have told you at the beginning of the season, week 8, I had Clark Atlanta at 10 and Tuskegee at 11, what would you have said to me?
I would have said, man, what store did you go to for that liquor?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I put something in that that Kool-Aid I was drinking.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I would have said that, but man, that's why they play the game.
That's why they play the game. That is why they play the game. And here you have it. Look at it. Oh man. Well, let's go into next week's matchups. Next week's matchup, we have some good ones coming up. And since we're talking about Clark Atlanta, homecoming for Clark Atlanta. Edward Waters will travel to the AUC to play Clark Atlanta. A lot of hey big head texts is going out. People sending out them texts. Hey big head, what you doing? Trying to get away, get back to the AUC to go and see an old flame. Mm-hmm. It happens. It happens. Edward Waters playing Clark. What do you think?
This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one because I think Edward Waters has the capabilities of scoring. Mm-hmm. Edward Waters played really good defense in the beginning of the year. I'm not quite sure what has occurred since then. I think that their ability to rush the passer will play a key part in whether or not they win this game. Wow, I hate to do this. I think Edward Waters gets the victory.
Okay. All right, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm going to say Clark, and the reason why, people think I'm biased, but the reason why I'm going to say Clark, I think the young kid plays better at home. Mm-hmm. I think the young quarterback plays better at home. I think it's homecoming. I think Coach Keaton will do a good job of isolating them during homecoming. And this is always my trap for homecoming. And a lot of times, believe it or not, unless you're playing a Virginia University of Lynchburg, unless you're playing one of those type schools, I get worried about calling homecoming games because you could possibly lose because you get wrapped up in all the homecoming activities, the homecoming festivities, and you get locked up. And then when you have a young team, they've never experienced that.
Yes.
They don't know. So they might, that Friday night concert, they might spend a little bit too much time. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. How do you make sure everybody's in that room for a curfew check?
Yeah.
Coaches got to work overtime on homecoming, make sure ain't nobody sneaking out. But I do think, because I think Clark Atlanta has the offense that can score on Edward Waters, whereas Benedict, their offense just wasn't there, you know? So I do think they can score on Edward Waters. I think they can score, and I think they should beat Edward Waters.
Okay.
All right. Next game, Miles taking on Central State in Wilberforce, Ohio.
I'm going to go Miles, man.
Okay.
I'm going to go Miles.
Okay.
Even though I think that Central State defense is fully capable, and Miles has continued to evolve offensively. I think they had a really good plan going in against Clark Atlanta last week. And I think they can continue if Brinley Van Diver can kind of stay within himself. Because he turned over the ball a lot before last game. He would throw in the coverage. It would just be one of those things. Last game, he proved that they could win and he could protect the ball. If he can continue this, because Central State will go and intercept the ball. They are very opportunistic on that back half. If he can continue and stay within himself, and they run the football with their complement of backs, Roderick Thomas, along with Edward Osley, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think Osley will have a day tomorrow.
Yeah.
On Saturday. I think Osley will get over 100 yards. I think they're going to go ahead and they're just going to run it at Central State. And I think that'll set up the play action to help out Van Diver. That'll help him out. I don't see Central State's offense staying on the field long enough to help out the defense. I think their defense is just going to get tired. And I think eventually Miles is just going to lean on Central State.
Yes.
And that's what I think was going to happen. So I'm going to say Miles.
Okay.
Miles, all the way in this one. Now we go to the next one. We'll skip over that one. Now we'll go down to Savannah State. Savannah State invites Morehouse, the Maroon Tigers. They invite the Maroon Tigers to Savannah State. And, hey, man, I'm a Morehouse man. I'm a Morehouse guy, baby, right here. Right here, Morehouse, all day, every day.
Pin it behind you, man.
Pin it
It's
behind
all in the
me.
frame,
I
man.
tell you, I always been a Morehouse fan, man. Look at your head out the way. I always been a Morehouse fan, man. Come on. Y'all know it.
Listen, man, and I think this is Savannah State's homecoming.
Oh, Savannah State has a very good homecoming, man. I've called 2 Savannah State homecomings. Hey, Savannah State.
Say another underrated homecoming.
They do it right for
Okay.
homecoming.
Okay.
Shout out to Rock, my
Yeah.
big brother Rock
Hey,
out there, man.
Shout out to Savannah State and their
Savannah
homecoming.
State.
But they're going to take an L against Morehouse.
Oh yeah, they're gonna lose.
Yeah, they're going to take an L against
gonna
Morehouse.
lose.
I think so anyway. I think, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't think they have the capabilities of winning.
I don't.
They're just so they're just so inconsistent, man. And right now, Morehouse has smelled success, and I think they want to continue. And this would be what, Sly? 4 in a row, man.
4.
If they can do it. AD Drew, I need you to go in the archives, man.
Have they ever won 4 in a row? I don't know if Morehouse has ever won 4 football games in a row.
Me either.
They may have won 4 academic thons in a row, but I don't know about football. They may have won 4 chess matches in a row. Yeah,
They may have,
They may have won
polo.
4 study halls in a row. Football games? Morehouse? Have they played 4 in a row?
Going to the archive, AD. Going to the archives and find out. Has it ever been 4 in a row, sir? Has it ever been?
That is your assignment, AD Drew. We need you to find out if Morehouse has won 4 football games in a row. We need you to find
And
that
shout
one
out to them, man. Shout out to the sports rap, man. Cause
Oh, yeah,
I
AD.
looked at the replay today. I know you all on the chat. Shout out to them, man. Comprehensive information. They bring it all, man. The numbers, all those things. Shout out to them. Shout out to them on Sundays.
The sports rap. Go and check them out. All right. Next game, Allen going down to Tuskegee. Allen going down to Tuskegee to take on the Golden Tigers. Now, this is an interesting game. This is an interesting game for me right here. Allen may be the definition of inconsistent when it comes to offense. When it comes to offense, Allen plays on a high. They put points up, and then the next week they don't do anything. Then they'll run the ball really, really well, and then the next week they throw a bunch of interceptions. Allen has been very inconsistent. Tuskegee, on the other hand, they've been very consistent, but consistently bad. So what happens? Do you get a consistent bad going against a bad Allen, or do you get a really good Allen that week going against a bad Tuskegee? Who knows? Yes. And I'm hard on Tuskegee, but Tuskegee lost a quarterback. They lost a senior quarterback, I want to say 2.5-year starter, because he, kind of rotated that starting position. Mm-hmm. But you lost a starting quarterback and you're replacing him with an 18-year-old kid out there. And then you have an athlete like E.J. Hall. E.J. Hall on the outside. I mean, he's the type of guy, you just get him the ball and he makes things happen. Now, he had a senior quarterback getting him the ball. Now he's relying on a freshman to get him the ball. So that's tough.
Yes.
But then you look at Tuskegee's defense. Tuskegee's defense is nice.
Yes.
They are good, man. Kaquan Kimber at middle linebacker, the kid from Creekside, man, he is tough, man.
Yes.
Sideline to sideline kid. Then you look at Michael King. Michael King got a big pick to start the game off yesterday. Michael King, All-American cornerback. Tuskegee's defense is really good, but their offense, is not doing them any favors.
Again, we always use the term complementary football, and when you don't sustain drives offensively, it wears a defense out. When they're on the field for a long time, I don't care how much shape you're in, eventually, when you got bodies just wearing on you, because football by nature is you're trying to take a man against his will and do something you want them to do. So eventually you exert that much energy in doing it. So eventually you're tired. And so if you don't sustain, if you don't at least get the balance you need to go through an entire ball game, one of those sides of the ball, the defensive side in particular, is going to wear out. And so can Tuskegee muster up enough offense to keep it balanced? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, they will.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see it up close and personal. I'm calling that game.
Whoa!
I'll be calling that game on ESPN down at Cleve Abbott Memorial, down there under the shed. Hey, I told you it's one of my favorite places. I just love the environment.
Yeah, man.
I love the environment. So they'll welcome Allen down there. Hey, shout out to Allen. Allen has a new AD, Mr. AD Cromartie. You might know that name. He was a coach in the HBCU ranks for a while. Coached at Bethune, coached at South Carolina State. Edward Waters also. He is now the new AD at Allen University. So congratulations to you, young man, becoming the new AD. And Allen, if you take a look around our studios, see right there, producer. When I think, God, we got to work on this, producer, man. We got to work on this timing. You take a look around the studio, producer. There you go. Okay, thank you, Mr. Producer. You'll notice we have posters, we have jerseys. Benedict sent us a jersey. We still have to get Benedict's jersey framed. Edward Waters, Dr. Faison sent us that foam finger, and we got a hat somewhere over there on the side from Edward Waters. The Sam Shade sent us that helmet from Miles. Allen, we don't have anything from you, Allen. Allen, we need something. We need something for the studio, Allen.
Listen,
make sure you send us something.
It's not in our houses. We leave it right here in the studio.
We need it in the studio. So, Allen, we putting the pressure on you. In Savannah State, Joshua Jackson, SID down there. I'm putting the pressure on you. We don't have anything Savannah State.
Got to get it in.
Got to get some Savannah State here. We do have that little tiny old flyer, old pendant on the wall over the Tuskegee jersey from Savannah State. But you can't even tell that's Savannah State. But Savannah State, we don't have anything. Central State, nothing. Kentucky State, Coach Felton.
Come on.
Coach Felton, I know you watching, Coach.
Come on.
I know you watching.
Out of all people, I know you watching.
We're going to drop you down in the rankings. If we need to get some stuff in the studio, Coach. We need some stuff in the studio. All right. So now we got Fort Valley. Oh, the last one. Fort Valley. A.D. Johnson. We need some stuff from you too, A.D. Johnson.
We do.
Your Sigma brother, Coach Watson.
Yes. Got to get something.
Put that Sigma connection together.
Listen up. I will hit up Coach, and we get some things.
We need something from Fort Valley. Fort Valley will be traveling to Jackson, Tennessee to take on Lane.
Enough said, man.
Enough
said.
But you know what, though? I give Lane a lot of hell. A lot of hell. But Fort Valley don't have no offense.
No, they don't. I think it'll look closer. But I think Fort Valley being able to play defense the way they are, and honestly, you can tell that the coach's energy puts them in places to win. Like, they are ready when they face opponents. So, other than the Central State game, which mistakes kind of, messed them up in that game, they'll be ready to play Lane. I think they'll be just fine.
Fort Valley hadn't scored an offensive touchdown, I think, in 3 weeks. It's been a long time since they scored an offensive touchdown.
It has.
So, now that's tough, man. You got to make that long trip.
You do.
To Memphis or Jackson. You got to make that long trip to Jackson, Tennessee. How long a bus ride that is? 11 hours, 10 hours?
It might be a little less than that.
You think a little less?
A little less. Fort Valley.
Yeah. We give them 9 hours?
Yeah.
9 hours. 9 hour bus ride. 9 hour bus ride going to Jackson. That's a tough trip. Tough trip, especially a tough trip when you don't have no offense coming with you.
This is true.
So, ooh.
Oh, what you saying?
Say upset city.
Hey, you saying it? I'm saying Fort Valley. Are you saying?
Does Lane get off the slide?
Like your South Carolina brethren said, that famous Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible.
Yeah, except that.
Okay.
Fort Valley will win. Fort Valley will win. Even though I think I do. Fort Valley need to find some type of offense. They need to find some type of offense. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk.
No.
It ain't gonna be easy.
No.
It ain't gonna be easy. Them kids from Tennessee gonna play.
Yes, because they tired of being talked about.
Is it homecoming?
I'm not sure.
It may be homecoming. We have to check that one out and see. But I want to step out there.
Go ahead, Slime. You the Riverboat Gambler?
I'm going to step out there.
Go ahead. You always stepping.
I'm going to step out there, man. I'm going to step out there. Hey, Lane.
Okay.
Lane will take out Fort Valley this week.
All right.
Man. I'm pretty good on my predictions.
Okay. You going
Put my
be
rep
Mr. Cleo.
Put my rep on the line on this one. And the final game.
Ooh.
This is the one everybody been waiting on.
You got to call a game and I'm free. I might have to take that.
You might want to drive down there.
I-20. That's what I'm talking about.
You might want to drive. We need to find out who's actually calling the game. I don't know who's calling the game. I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
I don't know. We got to find out who's calling the game. But the game we're talking about, Columbia, South Carolina, 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern. Albany State will be playing Benedict. Woo-wee!
Game of the year in my eyes. I know we had a couple of games of the year, but brother, you talking about 1-2 in the SIAC. You're talking about two defenses that come to play. You're talking about injuries that have kind of derailed what the offenses would have been when you're talking about Albany State, which to me makes this game just a little more even. But I think Albany State will be back at full strength this game.
I think so too.
I think so too. Has been out the last 3 weeks. So we will see, man. But this is the game of the year in the SIAC.
I think so. I think this will be the game that everybody's talking about, everybody's watching. It'll be one of the ESPN broadcasts also. So everybody's definitely going to be watching the game. This is one of the games I don't want anybody, because I'll be calling the game.
Yeah, you are. You don't want stay off your phone, stay off your.
But I got to give updates while I'm calling the game.
You do.
Oh man, that's gonna be tough, man.
It will, because man, this is a good one, Sly. It just is, and I hope it lives up to.
I do too.
The hype, going off the D1 brethren for a second, like that Alabama State, Jackson State game.
Oh, yes. It lived up to it.
It lived up to the hype. So I hope this does the same.
And I think with both of these teams, you have Benedict strong defense.
Mm-hmm.
Benedict strong defense, and they have a defense and a special teams who I believe have scored in every game.
Yes.
I think they've scored in every game. Maybe not the first game. They might not have scored in the first game. But other than that, I think they've scored in every game. They're playing an Albany State offense who's been on a roll. Even with their starting quarterback out for past 2 games, they've still been on a roll and hard to stop. And Albany State's defense, they aren't any slouch themselves.
No, they are not.
They aren't any slouch themselves. But the one weakness is Benedict's offense. If you go and line up those check marks, I put a check for Benedict defense. I put a check. But Benedict's offense gets an X. Benedict's offense gets an X because their offense has not been able to move the ball. They have not been successful at all on offense. And when you're not successful on offense, pretty soon that's going to start to wear on your defense. Benedict has not seen the offense as good as Albany State's offense and as patient as Albany State's offense. Albany State, what Coach Quinn Gray does, you would think he's an ex-quarterback, so he wants to throw the ball around. But he's done a great job of establishing the run, letting those running backs, Tian, just letting them go, letting them run, letting the other Algernon, letting them get in there, run, and then set up that play action. Let those safeties kind of creep up, those cornerbacks creep up, and then those can throw over the top. Hey, Albany State's offense, it's a reason they're first in the conference.
Yeah.
It's a reason. This is going to be a great game.
I believe so, too. And I think you hit the nail on the head, man. When it came to Coach Quinn Gray coming into the SIAC, I think initially because he is who he is and that gunslinger mentality, wanted to throw the ball all around the yard, but he has done a wonderful job adjusting to the personnel he has. He has 2.5 great backs, and they run the football. But also, he talked about it last year. He uses his tight ends very good in their offense.
And they big, too.
Yes, they are.
They got some big boys,
Yes,
too.
they are. So they can, at the point of attack, they are great in the run game, but also they can get out there and catch the football. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Who you picking, though, sir? Who you picking, Columbia native?
That's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's a tough one. But I believe in defense, man.
Okay.
And I believe in that Benedict defense. I think that you maybe have a rusty Isaiah Knowles. He's been off for 3 weeks, probably 4 weeks, I think. Been off for a while. If he can shake off that first quarter rust, if Benedict doesn't hit him early in the first quarter, put points on the board in the first quarter, Albany will win. But I do think Benedict's going to put points up early because of the defense. They're going to put him in some bad situations. And then that offense hopefully can take advantage. They have to find a way to get Jackson Williams the ball.
Yeah.
They got to let Jackson Williams get the ball in space. And if you're Albany State, you can't kick the ball anywhere close to Jackson Williams.
You do not.
You don't kick it anywhere close to that kid. But I think Benedict will win.
I got Albany State in this.
Ooh.
I think their balance on offense gives them enough. And I'm just not sure if Benedict, because this is a good defense they're playing. You just said Albany State's defense is no slouch. I'm not sure if they can muster up enough offense. I'm talking about pure offense to be able to overcome anything that Albany State may bring as well. Because I think Albany State scores in this game, man. I think it's just a matter of their balance and being able to score, whether or not Benedict can match what they're doing. I think Albany State wins it.
It'll be a good one.
It will.
It'll be a good one.
At least I'm hoping it.
Knock on wood.
Yes.
Knock on wood.
Yes.
Knock on wood. I think it'll be a good one, deservingly of being the game of the week. And I think not only is this the SIAC game of the week, I think this is all black college football game of the week right here. I think this is a huge game right here, number 1 versus number 2. there are some, well, there's definitely conference championship implications on this game.
For sure.
But there's also some playoff implications.
It is.
For this game. So I truly think this is the game of the week. But I'm going to go with the Tigers.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Tigers.
All right.
So we'll see. We'll see, man. Well, check this out, man. We're getting ready to end this thing. Hey, but we want to let everybody know, make sure you check out. Don't go anywhere. Stay close to your computer. Stay close to your phone. Be sure to watch the D2 show. Be sure to watch the D2 show.
For sure.
With SJG and K Ferg. They're the professional reporters.
They are, man.
They're the professional.
They are. They go into stuff. They write stuff.
They write stuff down.
They
you
do.
know, they're the professional. We're some guys who.
Yeah, we two hacks that just come up here and talk.
We like to have fun.
Yeah, we do.
They're professional, but they do provide a deep insight, and then they'll give you some of that the little brother conference too. What's that? The CI.
I'm not gonna do that. The CIAA.
CIAA.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they'll talk about the CIAA conference also. So be sure to check out the D2 show with our SJG and K Ferg. They're coming up in a minute. Coming up right after our show. But he is Jamie Walker.
Yes.
I am Sly Williams.
He is.
This is the SIAC Sit Down on HBCU Game Day. We'll see you next week.